Andy Reid, to me, is on the Mount Rushmore of coaches. Maybe he's the last one on the Mount Rushmore. Like maybe he just barely gets on it, but he's on it. He's got to be in the top 4 to me just to do it. Winning championships in today's NFL, I think is a lot harder than it's ever been. Players have a lot more optionality in terms of where they'll go play. Players make a lot more money. It's a lot harder to get these guys to to me it's a lot more in the player's favor than it is in a coach's favor in today's NFL. So
It's,
to be
and it's challenging too as it pertains to finances, the salary cap. So it's
mhm.
hard to put together a team comprised of people that can actually win a championship. So the Chiefs have done it yet again
Done it yet
with
again.
receivers.
No receivers. Not well. I will say I gotta quit saying no receivers
Kelsey.
because shot. Well, I wasn't even gonna say Kelsey. Shout out to Rashee Rice. Rashee Rice over the course of the end of the season
Play well.
really matured, grew, and he made some critical plays in the Super Bowl as well. So I'm no longer going to say they don't have any receivers. They found them somebody in Rice. And if they can get MVS to be a little bit more consistent, if he's going to come back next year and maybe add one more guy, this team is going to be real dangerous. So shout out Rashee Rice. They got one receiver. They don't got nobody else. But with that being said, with what we saw in the Super Bowl game, with everything Andy Reid has done, now being on that Mount Rushmore of coaches, would you say that it's time for him to hang it up and that we will see him hang it up before next season?
Um, I made a prediction that he will if they were to win the Super Bowl, which they did, Andy Reid will retire. And my statement, in my opinion, still holds true because Andy Reid is getting up in age, man. He was in Philly for like over 15, about 20 years almost. He didn't
Yep.
win a championship in Philly. He had a big question mark, in my opinion, on his coaching resume because he just cannot win a championship in Philly. Shout out to people in Philly. Then he transitions to Kansas City. It has had nothing but success. I mean,
Yep.
it's crazy because when you think about what happened with Andy Reid in Philly, I think that's kind of what was happening with Mike Tomlin in Pittsburgh, except he won a championship. I will say that.
Mm.
So when you look at what he has accomplished in the past, how long he's been in Kansas City? Like 8 years, something like that. I don't know, 18 years. I don't know.
It's probably closer to like 9 or 10 seasons
They
at
went
this
to
point.
5 straight NFC championship games, if I'm not mistaken. I mean,
5 straight AFC, yep.
5, and then won 3 Super Bowls. That's a good percentage.
And been to 4 Super Bowls. They won 3, but they've been to 4.
That's a good
So
percentage.
yeah, man.
So for me, I have him retiring and then handing the reins over to Eric Bieniemy. That's just me.
Okay.
Maybe
Okay.
Ed will want to be in the front office, and he still can help with roster decisions and such, and kind of buzz in Eric Bieniemy's ear as he starts developing himself as a head coach. And I think that'll just be a nice transition of power.
Yeah, I think that would be a good transition of power. In an ideal world, we will see that happen. Um, However, I kind of just think that where Andy Reid is now, we're talking about 32 years coach total, a record of 332,
Coaching somebody.
181 and 165% when it comes to his winning percentage, 34 and 21 playoff record. Um, and Andy Reid is just a prolific coach. Um, I don't think it stops here. I think, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think he keeps going. This team is poised to win yet another championship next year. This team, I think, they probably got the shortest odds to win the championship next year. They can three-peat. Um, that's how good the Kansas City Chiefs are right now. I know they won't three-peat because they'll have to go through Cincinnati, and that's not going to happen with a healthy Joe Burrow. However,
Oh my God.
this team is poised to be there and to
Yeah.
play in that AFC Championship game. I think Andy Reid is going to be on that sideline. It ain't the Chiefs without Big Red, you know. So I think he's going to be on that sideline for the AFC Championship game, if not for anything else. So that's my thoughts on that.
Always got to find a way to insert the Cincinnati Bengals, man.
I didn't want to insert them, Dub. I didn't want to, but we were already talking about the AFC Championship and the Super Bowl. So
Be making to the playoffs, and you putting them in the same breath as the Chiefs.
listen,
That is invalid.
listen. We live in a what have you done for me lately world, and somehow nobody remembers we just played in the Super Bowl. And then after playing in the Super Bowl last year, we just played in the AFC Championship against who? The Kansas City Chiefs, in which they beat us barely, went to the Super Bowl. And we almost made the playoffs this year with our backup quarterback. We were a game away.
Regression.
But with regression, there's the opportunity for progression. And we're gonna make some strides this year. But I won't deviate too much. Listen, this is about the Chiefs, this is about Big Red. Give us your thoughts in the comments. Let us know what you think. Will Andy Reid be coaching the Kansas City Chiefs this year? And if so, if this year wasn't his last year, if he's coaching next year, will last year be his last year coaching? Let us know your thoughts.